Hi everyone, I'm Maddie with Temple of Geek, and I am here at WonderCon in Anaheim, California, talking to Jazzy Collins. How are you today?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Of course.
Is this your first time here at WonderCon?
This is not. This is my second time. Yeah, so I was here last year, which was a lot of fun.
That's really exciting. What would you say is the coolest thing you've seen so far?
Oh man, there was a duolingual owl in the audience while I was sitting, and it was like I wanted to just talk to him the entire time, but of course, got to talk to the entire audience. But that was the coolest I've seen so far.
That's amazing. Was it like in the big suit or like?
It had the big head, and then it was in a regular suit. So he was pedestrian on bottom, and then had an owl on top. Iconic.
That's amazing. So now, as a casting director, how early in the production process are you typically involved?
As early as possible is what I would love, but for the most part, it's usually roughly a month to 2 months before we start filming for most of the shows that I work on. There are some shows that I've worked on where it was a 6-month casting job, so it's just all pending on what you need to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
So now when you're casting for a role, how much weight do you put on the actor's previous work versus their audition?
I like to come in with a fresh perspective every single time, because just because they did a fantastic job on one show doesn't mean it might translate to the specific role. So I like to always look at it a completely different, fresh take, and I love watching people's auditions.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice for someone who's sending in audition tapes, or what is something that people tend to kind of trip up on that you would love to kind of smooth out for them?
Yeah, obviously you don't need to give us the whole razzle dazzle. We just want a clean background. We want to see your whole body, and we want to see you actually just develop in that space. We want you to see that character come to life. You don't have to go all crazy and edit and add all these things. We just want to see you.
Awesome. That's really incredible. How has the landscape of casting changed over the years?
It's a very interesting ride, especially on the unscripted side. I've been seeing a lot of previous casts from other reality shows are now coming into play and doing half cast of former reality stars, and then also civilians as well. So it's been different, but it's an interesting change because I'm curious to see how audience are enjoying it. They're seeing people that they haven't maybe seen in a long time, and they're like, oh my God, Boston Rob, I haven't seen him in a minute. I know. So it's an interesting world that we're in, but I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah, that's amazing. Do you have a particular series or film that you have so many fond memories of?
Oh man, this past season of Game Changer that I cast for Dropout has so many memories because it was just me and my casting assistant Chris Caputo. Shout out to my girl. And we had to cast well over 300 people for this season. So it was just insane the amount of work and effort that we had to do to get it done. But we had so much fun doing it, and that's when you really know that you love your job because it was stressful. Right.
I get it.
Yep.
How do you ensure that your casting choices affect the authenticity of the stories?
Mm-hmm. I think it's really important when you're casting, you always include as much people as possible that you normally wouldn't include. So just because a role calls for maybe a white blonde woman, it doesn't mean that we can't audition someone else that's a completely different race, gender identity, whether or not they have some form of disability. I like to see it all. So I think it's really, really important to make sure these stories get authentically told, and the only way to have that is to have those people be cast in them.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and I hope you have a great rest of your convention.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you.